everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I've filmed a first impressions on the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. So yeah, I'm just talking about my opinions, my thoughts, and obviously like my first impression as I'm applying it to my face. And yeah, so if you want to know what I think about this foundation, what it looks like, a little insight for you, then just keep watching. Let's just get out of the way that I sound like a man. I have a cold. Oh well. I did buy 3 different colours just because I did, and it was 3 for 2, so you can't beat a bargain. But yeah, I bought 3 different colours just so that I can mix them if I need to, just to match with my fake tan and blah 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 blah. And also, if I do like the foundation, then I can wear it when I'm not fake tanned and a little ghosty. But yeah, so I got the shades Golden Beige, Porcelain and Light Sand. Covers imperfections, redness, marks and dark spots. Okay. It says it's a full coverage, long wear foundation with a weightless feel. So yeah, I'm gonna have a little go. See what the colour looks like. Okay, so it's a tiny little bit dark. Yeah, it's slightly more orange toned. Okay, so I'm going to mix a little bit of the shade 10 Porcelain. I don't know how much I'm supposed to put on my hand, but I'm going to have a little guess. I'm just going to mix them together with the end of my brush. Okay, so I'm just going to dot that on. It looks super dark on my face, obviously, because I've got a white face. I did buy the sponge that is supposed to go with the foundation, I believe, but it's just one of L'Oreal's new sponges. I have had a little go on this sponge with a different foundation, and I do think it sucks up the product quite a bit because it is very dense. It's not like the original Beauty Blender or the Real Techniques. I'll have a go at it on a portion of my face and see how I feel. But immediately, the foundation is extremely thick, so if you don't like thick foundations, you're not going to like this at all. That is my first thought. So I'm just going to go in and... Okay, so it's very moussey. I just don't like this sponge. It feels like I'm almost punching myself in the face. I'm going to go in with my normal foundation brush that I've been using recently, and that's the Defined Buffer brush from Zoeva. And... okay, that's working a lot better. It claims that it's got a high coverage. It has got a very good coverage, but I wouldn't call it high. When I want to compare coverages, I immediately think of my Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation, and the coverage on that is just pure. It's genuinely pure coverage. So for me, I would call this a medium. Medium buildable, I guess. It is extremely dry, I will also tell you that. It does feel almost like the Dream Matte Mousse from Maybelline. Maybelline? Rimmel? Maybelline. The Dream Matte Mousse from when I was younger. I used to wear that all the time. Yeah, it does feel it is very, very moussey. So once you've actually blended it out, it almost feels like you're putting a foundation powder on rather than a liquid foundation. But like I said, I would call this a mousse, not a liquid. So I'm just gonna buff that in further. It does, see, when I run my brush over, it doesn't feel like I'm actually blending anything, because it does feel like it's stuck. They have just brought it out in the Boots where I got mine from, and they only had about 5 shades, so I had to sort of pick up a really dark shade and a lighter shade and mix them together, so that's why it's slightly more orange than my fake tan. It's not as yellow toned, but it's working in a sense. It's very powdery. I think it's just the colour for me that's annoying. I think what I'm going to do is just do my concealer and my powder, bronzer, highlight, just my face makeup, and see how I feel. I'm just going to go in with my normal Set Cover Up by MAC, And just do a little dib dab under my eyes. Oh god, that was not supposed to happen. Whoops. Maybe I'll try the concealer with this sponge. Let's just nab a bit from this side. Oh my god, they squeezed out a lot. Lighten up the foundation a little. Okay. So it has soaked up my concealer, you can just definitely see that on the sponge. But I'm not going to give up on it just yet. Okay. So the foundation hasn't actually changed in the sort of finish after I put my concealer over the top. You know, because sometimes when you have a certain concealer and you mix it with a certain foundation, it can go all like loose or congealed and grimy and minging. But this hasn't seemed to done that, so that's okay. And as I said, the colour selection isn't great unless you go to a counter with all the colours and actually have a proper test, whereas I had to guess and run sort of thing, because I wanted to film this video desperately. Okay, so I definitely enjoy my foundation with my concealer over top, and I think you're going to do that anyway. It has blended together really nicely, to be fair. I'm liking the look of it very much. I feel like also with this foundation, if I wanted to powder, I wouldn't necessarily need to powder everywhere, or I could just do a light dusting. I'm just going to do my normal Laura Mercier loose translucent. And I'll just use this same sponge and dab into it. Okay, so I'm just going to go underneath my eyes. I'm going to go on the chin as well. I'm just going to go everywhere where I concealed. I'm then just going to take a baby tulip brush and go in with my Rimmel Stay Matte and lightly set the rest of my face. Yeah, you don't need a lot of powder. On the non-powdered side, it does feel powdery already, so I think that's sort of an indication that you don't need to powder as heavy. But I'm just going to do my normal sort of routine. Actually, I think now that I've powdered and concealed, it does look very, very nice. I'm just going to bronze a little bit more just to even out the darkness on my chest and the darkness on my face. Alright, so for bronzer, I'm just going to use my normal Bahama Mama by The Balm. The one that I've been loving forever now. And my Real Techniques contour brush. I'm going to start on my forehead and really bronze up my face. Ooh. Hello. I think I'd be a lot happier with this foundation if I actually got a decent colour. Okay, so I'm going to go in with another bronzer, which is the Skinny Dip from Bare Minerals. And this is quite a very warm bronzer. Let's have a closer, a little look. So my face is very dry, as I've said about 4 times already. But I do like the matte finish. I really do like the matte finish. I'm not a big fan of using the foundation with this sponge. It may work better with a Real Techniques sponge or the original Beauty Blender, because I've seen a lot of people using that instead of this. But I think with any foundation, if you want to keep the coverage and you want to pack that coverage on, just a flat top brush or any sort of kabuki brush does do the job better, which in my case it has. So yeah, the only thing that I'm not really enjoying about this foundation is the colour, and obviously that's of my own fault. But I can tell already that the shade 10 Porcelain is going to be the perfect shade for me when I'm not tanned. So yeah, I do like the finish that I've got at the minute. I feel like I'm going to add a little bit more bronzer just to warm my face up that tiny little bit more. But yeah, I'm probably going to come back in about, well, in a couple hours or later on and show you how it's held up and my thoughts on it in a few hours. So I'm just going to go and finish the rest of my makeup and I will be right back to you. Hi guys, I'm back from my day out and around and about and blah 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 blah. I applied the foundation and sort of set the timer for about 11:05 this morning. So it is now 9:15. Yeah, 9:15. So it's been on for about 10 hours now. And it doesn't look that different, if I'm honest. My coverage has stayed. My bronzer hasn't moved. Like, none of my products on my face have moved. Only when I've like been eating, my lipstick's worn off and stuff. But yeah, the coverage has stayed. My face doesn't look as dry, obviously, because my oils have come through the foundation a little bit. But yeah, it hasn't gone patchy. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. My face doesn't feel dry anymore. And yeah, I think I really like this foundation, so I'm probably going to carry on using it. So that's the end of the video. If you do enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel for more videos. Bye! Hakuna Matata! What a wonderful phrase!